check out the Patreon and gain access to all the source code. Hey, welcome to this tutorial. This is part 10 of creating the Paragon system. And today we will go over creating the functions to update our text, XP text or level, and updating the points left. But first, we need somewhere in our add-on to store our level, the experience, and the experience to the next level, and the points we have left. So let's do that by heading over in the Paragon System _ core. This is still inside our add-on. Down at the Paragon System.state, here you would add level equals 1. This is just like a default value. I would guess that everyone starts at 1, but it will just write run and be 1 from start. But again, all of these values we are writing here will get updated as soon as the server is connected and it gets data from the database. So don't worry that much about this. Next is the current experience, not tab, current experience, so XP. That would be 0. I guess you wouldn't want players to start with experience from start. And then the last thing we need is the XP required. So that's the experience for the next level. So that would be XP required equals 0 from start. Again, because all the data for these 3, we will get that from the database. So it doesn't matter what you write here, because it's not gonna work anyways when you get data from the database. So it will just be updated. These are just the variables that will hold the data. So we just set them to something, just making it a little easier to read. So that's it. Next, you go back into your Paragon System _ UI script. And now we wanna create the functions for updating the text, like the XP text, the points left, and your level. So let's get started on that. So function, then you write Paragon System .ui .functions update XP text, and then you make a local variable local text. This is just to restore. We don't need to write the whole thing to get the experience text. So here, Paragon System .ui text objects XP text. XP text. So now the only thing we gotta do now is write text set text, because we want to update the text. And now we put in the text we want to update. So that would be XP uppercase space, and then if you want it in right like I had it, you would add the color code. So I will add this color code. You can copy it if you want. Then outside of the double quote, you do 2 dots, and this is to add together like a text, add together a bunch of numbers and such. That way you build messages and everything. So 2 dots, then 2 string, and inside here you would say Paragon System .state. So we actually have a value here for state, so you could just write state dot, and here you would say current XP. And the reason we write 2 string is because inside our core, the current XP is an integer, not a string. So that means that we need to convert it into text, otherwise it will complain and give you an error. So that's why. Next, outside the 2 string call, make a space, then 2 dots again, and then double quotes again, and 2 spaces inside, and then you write the / and then outside the quotes again, space and 2 dots again, and then again we say 2 string and say state dot XP required. be required. If I could spell. Oh, it came to me there. Nice. So now we basically have our text updating when we send in the data. So that's awesome. So now our XP text updating is already done. So let's add a comment above it. So update the XP text like that. Next, let's make the next function, which is the update points left function. Paragon. So we do the Paragon System.UI.functions.update points like that. And now, well, we do the same again. So we make a new variable, a local one, and call it text again. And we set it to, you guessed it, the Paragon System. So the UI text object. So in here, you would set it to your good old points left text. So we store the points left inside here, the text for it. Then we say text : set text. And inside here, double quotes again. And here we write points left. And again, if you want something else to be here, you just do that. You can just write whatever you want inside here. And then outside the quotes again, two dots again. And then we do a toString again. And what we want to do here is that we need inside the state, we need the points left now. Points left. And that's all for our updating of points left function. So let's give it a comment here. Update the points left text. That's all. So that I just gotta check here. So, oh, I actually see I forgot about the points left value here, variable over here. So that would be points left. You could also just call it points if you want, but I will call it left. Then we know for certain that it's the points left. And I will set it to 0 from the start. So now it will like work. It will have this value. It would probably also work even after updating and everything if we didn't set it over here, but I would still recommend like predefining your like important things first, then predefine it, and then you can update. So that's the update points left. Next, we want the last one, which is just updating the level text, which is again Paragon System.UI.functions.update level text. And again, we will make another local variable called text. Set it equals to Paragon System.UI.text objects level text. And once again, we say text : set text. And in here, we do the level. We write level : space. Then if we want the color code again, we take the same white color code. And so the level part is not colored now. It's only like the number or level. So outside the double quotes, you make a space and then dot again and a space again and then toString and state dot parent dot level. Not parent, but dot level. That's my bad. So now we just make a comment up here. Update the level text, and that's all. So now, if you want to see this actually working, the way we can do that is that since we have these here, and as I said, what you set here doesn't matter because it will get updated later in the tutorial series when the data comes in from the database. So you could write that you have 1,000,000 points here, or you could write like that. and level like this, and 5,000 and 30,000. So this doesn't matter because, you know, everything will get updated from the database. So all of this data will be updated as soon as we connect it to the database and the server, and it sends over the data. So don't get freaked out by setting wrong numbers here. So what we're gonna do now, I will keep this, and I suggest you do so. So you just keep like a random number in these, so we can see if it actually updates the text now we tested. So what you're gonna do is that you are now gonna have a look here. You can see everything in our functions is set up. So now we wanna call them. And what we wanna do is that below all of these calls, otherwise you'll get an error if you don't put it below these calls. Below all of these, you will set the things here. So you will set like Paragon System.UI.functions and then update level text, and then just do the same again. So I will copy them twice and then just update them to say points left and update XP text, sorry. So this doesn't matter how you like switch them around in the order of calling them. The reason you can't do it like you can't move them here. So if we take these, you can't do like this. And the reason you can't do that is because when Lua reads your code, it goes through all of this, and then it gets to your function here. So it calls our function, and then it tries to update the level text. But problem is, our level text isn't created yet. So you get a nil error. So that means it will like give you an error because it can't find the UI you are trying, or the text you are trying to update. Just want to explain that so people know why it's in Lua. It's important with the call order like any other programming languages. So that's all done. So let's head in game. So now you see our things here are updated, and as you see, I actually made a little error, which is, again, everyone makes errors, so don't be scared of doing that. You're learning from errors. So first off, I see here, well, maybe my level text should not say XP. So that's one thing. So let's fix that. So let's see here where I did wrong. Probably where I edited it. Wouldn't really. Yeah, I did something wrong here. So if you go into your create XP text, so you see here at the where I set it, I made a mistake in the last video where I set it to the level text. What you want to do here is set it to the XP text. So that's one thing. So now let's see here. Should be everything. So now let's go in game again. Hit enter / reload. And let's see. And now it's correct. My bad on that. That's my bad. Sorry for that. But now you can see when developing, you will make mistakes like that and have a little laugh about it. It's not that important. That don't get hung up on making mistakes like this. It's the fun of learning. So now we have the data updating. We know it's the updating correctly. We see the points left text is working correctly. So that's all awesome. And the last videos have been really long, so I will not make this as long. So what I want to do now is I want to show you how you can make the simple macros down here, so you can just reload by clicking one on your test character. So hit escape, hit macros. As you can see, I already have some, but I will show you how to create them. So hit the new button, then call this console enable, or like enable Lua errors or error. The reason you need to enable Lua errors is if you have an error in your like add-on code, you won't have any pop-up in-game telling you, hey, there's an error. Where if you enable this console, you will actually get an error pop up here if you did something wrong, like called them in the incorrect order, and then it basically tells you everything about what's wrong, like the line it's wrong at. So let's put in the code for the command. So it's /console script, and then the E in errors is uppercase and then 1. So now we have this console. We can just click on it and it will run this command for us. Next we want the reload command. Let's just pick an icon, so reload /reload. You just write it here, and that's all. Now you can drag it out on your menu bar like that, and now I can close it and I can hit 1 and I reload the game or the client. And this one is on. Don't worry about not seeing anything, but it's normal that it doesn't say anything about its own, but it will pop up if we do something wrong. To give you an example of what would go wrong if you called the update text down here, or update XP text, before it created the text, we can do that and just hit reload. And now you see an error. And this says that inside our Paragon system _UI and on Lua line 52, attempt to index local text and nil value. So if we go to 52, which is right here, and the problem is not that the value or own local variable in itself. The problem is that this text object that should be here that it's trying to access isn't created yet, because that gets created inside the create Paragon window, or sorry, create XP text. So now you know what happens if you like write it under like wrong order of calling things. But that was all for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please hit the like and subscribe if you did. See you in the next one.